So how do we actually process information? And there's a limit to this, right? How much information can we process at one time? So we're going to use this basic memory model to kind of help us understand a little bit more. First and foremost, we have to pay attention to something. Unfortunately, we're not very good at dividing attention. So if we have a couple of things going on in our lives, let's just say I want to watch Netflix while recording this video, I can only pay attention to so many things at once, right? So it may not be helpful for me to process information that's happening on Netflix and then also talk to you all. Because we don't have that ability to pay attention. Additionally, we have to get that information from outside of us to inside. So that's the process of encoding. So this might be something as simple as how your brain is actually encoding the information for speech. So when I'm talking to you all, you have sound waves coming to you from your computer, right? So those sound waves are coming out, and we have to process those sound waves into some sort of neural processing. So those sound waves actually hit parts of your ear, such as your eardrum, and those vibrations are actually turned into neural messages. So that is the process of encoding. We also have basic processes of storage. So can we actually store that material and then retrieve it later on? So if you think about this again as a computer, right, the computer has to be able to pay attention to what you want it to do, right? So you want to make sure that, for example, I have a mouse, so the mouse is connected in some way, shape, or form to this. It needs to be able to take that information that I'm giving to it and encode it into what a computer can actually understand. Has to be able to store that information, and later on, hopefully, we can retrieve it. So, so this is something like saving my Word document, and then later on being able to find it. So let's talk about these different pieces in a infant, just because it's kind of easier to talk about it from that developmental standpoint. So first and foremost, we have attention. And as we had noticed even before, newborns have the ability to pay attention to certain things, and they prefer to pay attention to certain things. For example, infant-directed speech. Newborn infants are attuned to that. They like to hear it, and so they will pay more attention to that than, let's say, adult-directed speech. And our attention capacity, so the ability to pay attention, to switch our attention, to focus on new things, gets better with age. So we know that older infants, for example, so if you habituate them to something, they take less time to actually show a novelty preference. So something new happens, oh, that's kind of cool. It takes them less time to be able to do that. We also know that older infants can remember over a longer delay, and that they're able to switch attention much better by 6 months of age. So being able to, pay attention to that toy and then switch to something else and then come back to that toy, right? So they're able to deploy their attention much better by 6 months of age than they were at a newborn.